Okay, so we're gonna do I'm gonna call this a ditch survey. So we have this little side road where ITD is, and then the freeway out here, or highway. So the goal here is gonna be to essentially, and this rendering is in true color. Maybe I'll switch it over, color coded by elevation. So basically we have this ditch that we need to create to basically do a topo to create break lines. So how would you do that? Again, there's many different ways to do this, but what I like to do is, so if the beginning of our ditch is back here, you can see we've got this pipe coming out here. So I'm going to create basically a kind of a profile and cross section of this ditch right here. So in order to do that, I first need to have some type of reference alignment. So I'm just going to create a very rough alignment in there. I'm just going to do a line string. I believe I created a CL for center line. Call this ditch. This doesn't need to be precise. Okay, so I'm roughly just going to grab the center of this ditch. Just need something to reference. You do see there was some water in there in that ditch. So you'll see voids in the data set. And we're going to stop it. Oh, I'm actually going to go all the way up. Okay. So I have my center line here, my ditch. So that gives me something to reference. So I need to create a cutting plane. That's in the point cloud. So cutting plane, the plane manager, I need to generate this plane first. CL pitch from a linear path. Oops. I'm gonna pick my center line of ditch. And then what I like to do is create essentially stations at whatever interval, and that will give me a nice slice at whatever interval I say or designate, and then I'll be able to essentially grab points on that point cloud on those breaks. So 50 feet, that's good enough for me. I'm going to come back through and do some cleanup. Okay, so we have that plane. Let's go into the cutting plane view. My 3D. Oops. Click my ditch. Okay, you see these red slices. So these are the intervals along that station. So over to intensity, you can see down here I have the actual cross-section view of that. And then I can also scroll through stations here. So the side road here is over here, and then the highway is over here. So we're basically just going down this ditch. And then from here, create a little thinner slice. So 2500. So this gives us a nice profile. So we can actually grab, tops and toes from here. So I'm going to be just creating essentially CAD points. And I created a new group called ditch. So I have all of my codes right in front of me. So if I'm going to do line work, which I am here, I'm going to use these _1s. So that's going to generate the line work automatically. I'll show you the result. Let's go back to the beginning. It's right at the top there. So I'm going to clean that up after. Okay, so I'm going to start my topo points again. Feature code, I'm going to do line work, and you can also do stringing if you want. If I was going to have multiple tops along in here, top _1 that would be the first sequence, and anything with a 1 behind it, it's a string code. So it's only going to match, 1s with 1s and 2s with 2s and so forth. So I think I will, and to add a 1 here, you can just hit the plus and it'll add a string value. So let's say I start on the side. So top, and then you can essentially just grab the coordinate. And then do the same thing on the bottom. Just keep doing that, double coding. And then just add a 1. Somewhere there. And I figured out it's disabling these points automatically. That's why they aren't showing up, but they are there. And then is this going to be on this side? Is this the string of 1? I'm assuming we're going to kind of connect the same bottom here. So I'm just going to leave it at a 1. And then go up here to the, I keep doing that. That's there. So this is going to be the second. This is second. No, actually, we're going to connect the entire thing. I'm sorry. Somewhere in there. So what that did, and bear with me on this, why it's disabling these points, but it is. But I want to show you this. No, it's enabled. Enabled. Oh, they are enabled. Okay, so if and you can see these are the points along that 50-foot cross section here. My cutting plane thickness is not big enough to actually see that because they might be offset a little bit. So if I jumped up to my next station, which is going to be right here. So I'm at 100 feet. So I did top, that's the first one, bottom, first one, bottom, second one, top, second one. So I can go, this is actually going to be, this is 1. Sorry, it's these codes are getting to me. Let's grab our top here. And then we're going to go, let's bottom one. Bottom two. And top two. Okay, so I added those points, and I should be able to see some line work now. I've got to. Yeah, sorry about that. That was actually just the center line. I thought it was connecting to this ditch line here. My bad. So at the end of the day, we're starting basically our break lines for our ditch. So this can be a, and once you get into the template and start creating it, you can pretty much fly. So I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to essentially use that same cross-section view to complete this, and then I'll show you the result.